Carolina Gamecocks. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the 12th ranked team in the land, the South Carolina Gamecocks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer alongside. Guys, we can't wait to see this game. Been looking forward to it all week. What a game we have coming up here. A top 10 team perhaps walking right into a trap. As any fan of college football knows, when you go on the road, you never know what you might run into. Welcome everyone to Williams-Brice Stadium, home of the South Carolina Gamecocks. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the 12th ranked team in the land, the South Carolina Gamecocks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Ducks will put toe to leather and we'll get started. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. To the air, it's Sellers. Just missed on the connection, incomplete. Listen.
Can't make every play, you can't cover everybody, but it's really nice when you get the bonus of swatting the ball down and making sure that quarterback doesn't get a completion and doesn't get a big play.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to go.
On third down, he drops to throw. Fires to the big fella. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Yeah, this defense is going to have a plan for this tight end, especially when he lines up in the slot, because there's a lot of different routes he can run, and because of his size and his wingspan, he's very, very difficult to cover.
Making sure there's no return on that one as the punt sails out of bounds. You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Toss sweep right. Breaks into the open. Ripping through the defense. Finally forced out of bounds. Maybe a step shy of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49.
What a run, man. I tell you what, it's hard to pop runs. It's hard to get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards a lot of times. But when you got backs like this who can make huge plays with the speed, getting out in the open field, can take it the distance on every play, defenses are scared out of their mind.
The Ducks come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Moore to the air. Grabbed over the middle, and Stewart gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Got a man. It's Hughes. Knocked down at the 24-yard line, but it's a big gain. 15 yards on the play, and this offense is in business.
And that's why, if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
And the Ducks with the 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
So now it's 2nd and long. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. Really good running, gets it into the red zone, and they'll have it at the 16.
And this running back right now is sending a very clear message. He doesn't want to just be known as a guy that can run around you or run away from you. He wants you to know he can lower the shoulder and get those tough yards if need be.
It's as if you're engulfed in a space odyssey. Williams-Brice alive on third down. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Fourth down, and this crowd is making it miserable on this offense. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Converts on fourth down, and he's still going. Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business with a 1st and goal. They were easily within field goal range there, but they don't feel like you can win this game 3 points at a time.
Nah, pass. I mean, you got to be aggressive. You got to get touchdowns, man. You've seen the emphasis. Defenses are willing to give up yards now to make you kick field goals. I like this offense being aggressive. Forget the threes. We need sixes.
The Ducks trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. Fans are bringing the noise on 1st and goal. He'll pull it on the read. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
Well, one of the reasons this offense likes the option game with the quarterback is to use his speed, try to attack the perimeter of the field. The defense, though, not having any of it. You saw the contain on the play, forcing him back in the middle of the field, and they're able to corral him for a huge loss.
These fans raising the volume on 2nd and goal. Looking to get it in. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You've got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to make tackles.
On 3rd and goal, you can't hear yourself thinking here. Moore will throw. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get him. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Hines is tight end. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one. No reason to panic when you see those extra bodies coming. Just find the big tight end.
Well, and the great ones do that. The great ones are okay. You want to blitz? I know my answers. I'm all right. I'll stay patient. Find the matchup. This time it was the tight end. Finds the tight end, throws a strike, gets the first down.
Nice job there. Good timing between the QB and the wide receiver executing that out route.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Gives it on the option. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. It'll be 3rd and long. Back to pass. It's Sellers. Avoids pressure. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
And quite simply put, you don't see that happen very often against him. He is one of not just the best quarterbacks in the game, he's one of the best players in the game. He's a Heisman Trophy candidate that oftentimes doesn't make mistakes like that. He should have thrown that football away. He decided to try and do too much, and the defense made him pay. They get a massive, massive sack, and this offense loses a ton of yards.
The accuracy is perfect. The loft, the aim, like the perfect golf shot. Let's see what they have dialed up as this drive starts from the 29-yard line. They'll go to the toss. He stopped after getting a yard out to the 30.
You definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about airing that puppy out.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Under fire. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And this offensive line's got to do a little better job, man. You've got to give your quarterback time to go through his progressions from go to 1 to 2 and then maybe make a play. And he goes off of his first target, and you could tell he did not have much time getting hit as he's trying to throw the football. You've got to protect your quarterback.
As the rooster crows, they are getting cocky and cockier on 3rd down here. Moore to the air. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. Snags it down the right side. Touchdown, Ducks! He found some open space and turned on the Jets.
Man, QBs love their big tight ends, and especially guys that can do such great things after the catch. He catches it. Dang, Palmer, he looks like a daggum receiver after he catches the football.
What a matchup nightmare, too, man. I mean, he's just too big for DBs to cover, and he's too fast for linebackers to cover. If I'm this QB, I'm looking that guy's way a lot more often than this one.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Forced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. So the penalty will not be enforced. The defense declines and stands on the result of the play. Wants to throw on first down. Zings it complete to the right. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
Cross the 30 to the 35, and that's a gain of 6.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing game.
Works his way to the 41, and that is plenty to give him a first down.
It was so important this offense was able to find a way to get in the rhythm, and the running game is now helping that. 2 straight punts on their previous 2 drives. This drive, though, they're having a little bit more success. Big reason why is this running back. He's been able to find some creases to run through, and it's really helping out this offense.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Still on his feet. He's going to take off. Across midfield and out of bounds at the 49. A big pickup there.
1st and 10, the whole menu open. You can run the football, you can do whatever you want. You can tell they call a pass. He does a really good job in the pocket, just being a great athlete. Scramble outside, go get another first down, 1st and 10 again.
And the Gamecocks will line it up on 1st and 10. Rides the back on the option, the give. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
Well, they're just trying to run the ball, but that time there was absolutely nowhere for the running back to go, and as a result, that's a tackle for loss.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Pulls and throws off the RPO. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. Just about ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on third down. To the air, it's Sellers. Lets it fly. And the big deflection on third down forces a fourth down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that. You can show your exotic looks. You can get the pass rush going. Everybody on the back end expecting throw. And that's how you force incompletions and force fourth downs.
The Gamecocks line up to punt it away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. The give to the single back. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, he'll lose a yard.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Sends it back in motion. Back to pass on second down. The sure hands, it's Stewart. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. You better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
It's as if you're engulfed in a space odyssey. Williams-Brice alive on third down. He'll get a fresh set of downs stopped at the 31-yard line.
Just beautiful, and that's a great feeling as a quarterback when you make that throw. It keeps your offense on the field, keeps the offense in rhythm. Obviously not as good as throwing a touchdown pass, but I'll tell you this, way better than having to trot off over to the bench and wait for your turn to get another shot.
And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. Here's the handoff. Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Moore will throw. Pulls it in. It's low. Oh, he's got some space. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
All right, second quarter, getting closer to the half. Offense is still having a lot of success stringing some first downs together. Defense is going to need to figure something out before they get to halftime.
The Ducks are rolling down the field. Wants to go up top on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Hill. Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24.
This defense has got to be better in coverage. You want to get off the field, you got to keep defending. You got to do something to make the offense feel uncomfortable. So far, way too easy for this offense.
And the Ducks will have it 1st and 10. Gives it on the option. Got it into the red zone, dragged down at the 18-yard line.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
The Ducks in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Back to pass. Firing to the right, complete. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
The crowd getting behind this defense as they try to get a stop in the red zone. They'll try to run for it. And that'll not only be a 1st down, it'll be 1st and goal from the 7.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency and getting 1st downs and staying on the field. And you saw another great example right there running the football. Anything they want to do right now is working.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. Touchdown, Oregon! Great job by the back on the option.
Man, I've been really impressed with this offense this first half. Coming in a hostile environment, hostile crowd, man, they haven't given them anything to cheer about. Offense, defense, now up 20-0, and these people are eerily quiet in here.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. So it's an 80-yard drive and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll take the return, try to get better field position. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Dropping back, it's Sellers. And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
Yeah, and listen, offensively, you run the RPOs. You just want positive yards, make the right read the guy. If he wants to drop back a little bit, hand it off, get some positive yards, go on to the next play.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Bennett. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. And the Gamecocks will send out the punt unit.
Number 24, on to punt it away.
Kick is in the air. Not going to take a chance to grab that one as it bounces out of bounds. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. To the air on first down. Rushes on him. Oh, and he got drilled as he just got rid of the football.
Get the quarterback off his spot. Make him flush from the pocket. Put a good hit on him. Check, check, check. You want to do everything you can to make the QB uncomfortable. The defense did all three of those on this play and finished it off with a nice lick, nice physical play on the quarterback.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Moore to the air. Moving away from pressure. Trying to escape and get it himself.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there, so instead of throwing it away, getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
The Ducks come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. In the gun and looking to throw on third down. Catch and stride inside the 15. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Ducks!
I think there were a lot of doubters that wondered how this team was going to be able to handle this environment and whether or not they could find success early in this game. They have proved all of those doubters wrong. They have been dominant in every phase, on offense, on defense, and on special teams, and they are piling it on here early in this game on the road.
And the extra point makes it 28-0.
That makes the score Oregon 28, South Carolina 0.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Looking to throw, it's Sellers. Caught near the sidelines. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds.
My old coach said you never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Line getting set on second down.
Here we go.
And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense understanding, listen, that QB is a threat. And they're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
4 punts already, and they've got to convert here to avoid a fifth. They're going to try to throw for it on third down. Bought a little time, lets it go. That pass is incomplete.
It's amazing to think just how confident this offense was coming into this game. They thought they were going to go up and down the field throwing the football in this one. That has not been the case. They have not yet scored a touchdown in this one. They just threw an incompletion on third down now, looking like they may have to punt. This offense has got to find their rhythm, but you've got to wonder about their confidence at this point of the game.
The Gamecocks will punt this one away. And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. To the ground with the back. Crosses the 30. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
Nice job getting outside, right? Those running backs, they get on those tracks, they run outside. Now they're in the open field. It's so tough. Those safeties are flying down, try to get an angle, but you could tell the speed sets them up, makes the big play out to the left.
Moore will throw. Fires left. It's complete. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48. The magic bean is spinning out of control. Already over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah, they're being aggressive offensively, throwing the football, trying to take advantage of this defense on the back end. They've got their quarterback right now in a groove.
Fires to the big fella. Gets it to the 37. Clock stops to move the chains. They'll immediately call timeout.
It is so good for an offense early in the game to get in a rhythm and to start stringing first downs together. It makes the game really easy and puts that defense in a situation where they're starting to get tired. They want to sub. They want to get other guys on the field. Stringing first downs together like this makes it hard to defend.
And the Ducks getting set on 1st and 10. He's taking the shot. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
Well, you make big plays for your quarterback in the game. You catch a touchdown pass, he's going to look your way again, often, downfield like they did right there, but give the defense credit, forcing an incompletion.
Handoff from the gun. And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
The Ducks are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Grab near the marker. It's Stewart. Working their way closer and closer. A 3rd down conversion, and they've got it at the 26.
Good enough for a first down.
Moore to the air. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Turning it on. He is brought down, but man, what a job to find some running room and move the chains.
Man, that's so frustrating, and it happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
The Ducks had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. It's complete on the right side. And the defense makes the tackle, and that ought to do it here in the first half. And that'll do it here in the second quarter. Halftime has arrived, and we head to the studio.
South Carolina, 0.
And the Gamecocks will kick it away to start the second half. He'll bring it out. It's Benson. Slips through the line. Just barely able to stop. almost housed that baby. The nice return there. That last line of coverage is the only thing that stopped him from scoring. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. Using his feet. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
Well, this guy's a weapon, throwing it and running it, and you know he's going to try to hurt this defense with his legs.
It puts so much stress on the defensive line to chase him and the fact that the play is extended so long.
Yeah, if they've got a spy defensively, if someone's athletic enough to run with this guy, that's going to be maybe a sound move moving forward schematically.
And the Ducks can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Gets the back moving. Moore will throw. Catch in the middle, it's low. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. Good job by the receiver there not to run into coverage, but to find a spot that the quarterback could throw him the ball.
Yeah, on those types of routes, Reese, they say if you're looking, you're booking. So if that's man coverage, the receiver's staring at the quarterback all the way across the field. That time, the receiver didn't give the quarterback his eyes, so they were on the same page. They both knew it was zone, and they executed that perfectly.
Quarterback needs to make a better throw there, incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. The give on the option. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
Pretty nice as a defense, right? When you can go nickel, put 5 DBs on the field and not have to blitz anyone, trusting your front four to get the job done on third down, and they do it right there, getting the sack.
And he can't quite get it down or out of bounds. It's into the end zone for a touchback. In front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. To the air, it's Sellers. Quickly to the flat, the wide receiver screen. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Finds his man, it's Bennett. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
The Gamecocks come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. They'll try to get it through the air. Throws to the wideout. Hauls it in. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. And the Gamecocks moving quickly to the line. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there. There he goes. And he's brought down after a nice gain. This offense hasn't found the end zone yet. Starting to move, it's 1st and 10. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. Looking to throw on first down. Now he'll let one fly down the left side. Got him downfield. He's brought down the run. A play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line. The Gamecocks didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have moved methodically down the field. Movement on the offensive line. That's going to be a false start, and they'll walk it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They'll move it back, and it's 1st and 15 for this offense. Motion from the back. Back to throw, it's Sellers. Got it in the middle, it's Harbor. That completion will take them inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
That quarterback has a hose. That dude could throw it through a car wash and not get it wet. Great job of putting that ball on a line to his wide receiver.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. 3rd down. Try and play action. Gets rid of it. He's got it.
That's really nice fundamentals by a right-handed quarterback, going to his left, getting the shoulder turned and the hips around, helping him make a very accurate throw.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
South Carolina.
Line of scrimmage is the 2, and they can pick up the first down here, but going for the touchdown here on 4th and short. They want to run this quarterback. Trying to get closer, and they knock it free. Defense picks it up. They bring him down, but not only do they get the turnover, he picked up a chunk of yardage, too.
Man, you know, sometimes ball carriers just have to know when the fight is over. And this guy, he's trying to drive. He's low to the ground. He's doing everything he possibly can to get the first down. But, David, he got a little bit careless with that ball security there.
Yeah, and listen, I'm okay with it when it's 4th down. Like, 4th down and goal, and I got to reach that ball. 1st down, 2nd down, I can't fumble. But right there, if I'm stretching the ball and I'm trying to get it across that plane, so be it. I don't know if he was going to get it anyways, but big play by the...
Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
All right, this offense needs to come up with a solution for this defensive end because he is a problem. They have got to find a way to help out the offensive tackle, prevent this guy from getting to the quarterback.
The Ducks have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Moore to the air. Catch in the middle. It's Stewart. Just plowing ahead. They got him free for a big gainer down to the 43.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants, he is not afraid to pull the trigger, and he hits a big throw there.
Reads it, fires complete. On the move at the 30. Touchdown, Oregon! A great catch and run for 6. This dude is revving his engine like that duck coming out on a motorcycle. He is putting up points and finding the promised land.
And it's nice to have a guy that can do that. Goodness gracious, they just keep finding at Oregon is trigger men. Not only throw the football, but guys who can pick them up and put them down and make big plays.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Clark. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. They'll start this drive going to the air. He'll try to do it himself. And he has a solid gain on the play before sliding. And the Gamecocks want to move quickly.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And he's knocked down, but there's also a flag that's been dropped. Let's check on the call. They'll line up for a second down play. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. Here's a heat. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
Well, this offense keeps giving up sacks, and they keep finding themselves in situations like this, 3rd and long right now. They don't have many points in this game, and this is a big reason why. It's hard to score if you don't keep the third downs manageable. So moving forward, whether it's running the football on 1st and 2nd or throwing...
He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
This offense has had some struggles early in this game so far. They're just trying to get something going, and so you take a shot. You try to find your best one-on-one matchup and see if they can make a play. The defense was ready for it. Good coverage on the back end. They look very prepared. All 11 guys on defense right now playing together as one.
Man, oh man, did that coverage team have its hands full. Well, not full because they didn't get a hand on him for quite a while. Great return there. This offense has it with really good field position. They'll send the tight end in motion. Run the shotgun, the handoff to the back. They get him down, but he does pick up 3 to the 32-yard line. Will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Not a lot of movement on that one. The defense in position.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football. You preserve the lead. You got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
The Ducks come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. Moore will throw. Gets it out fast. Brings into the open. That'll be enough for a 1st down, and they've got it at the 16-yard line.
Well, this guy's been a go-to guy for this offense all game long. We've seen that, and here on a critical 3rd down late in the game with the lead, guess who shows up with another big one? That guy.
And the Ducks have it with a 1st and 10.
Charcoal.
Give to the back. And he runs into a wall. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and leading the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. It'll be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
It'll be 3rd and long.
Let's go! Let's go!
They'll send the back in motion. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. The quick out. He's brought down at the 11-yard line, and now is this 4-down territory, or will they take the chip shot field goal? And they'll have to settle for a field goal try. And the kicker delivers the 3-ball to finish off the drive. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, 4th quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we looking pretty good.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Dropping back, it's Sellers. Scrambling away. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. Defense grabs the football, and there he goes. Oh, he's got some space. Touchdown, Ducks! The defense takes matters into its own hands.
And the defense comes with the blitz. Nice job getting to the quarterback. And don't just get there. Try to strip that football out. They get the QB to the ground. The ball's out. They scoop it up, take it all the way back to the house for 6.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point splits the upright. The scoop and score. What a lift it can give to the defense. Not content to get the ball. They wanted to do something with it, and they did. The returner will field it and try to do some business. This one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Got the quick pass. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the 1st down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
Off play action. Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback and this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. Tight end now in motion. Back to pass, it's Sellers. Still looking on the move. How about getting the foot down on that throw for the big completion?
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. The play action fake. That's caught. It's Bennett. Guided out of bounds at the 22. Good play for this offense as they are threatening to score.
Awesome body control and great job, too, knowing where he is on the field to make sure he got his feet down in bounds. At this point, this guy's been open all over the field, and if I'm the QB, man, I keep throwing him the ball.
The Gamecocks have it with a 1st and 10. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line, a loss of 1. After losing yardage, it's 2nd and 12. Looking to fire. Fakes the grab on the left. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down.
Well, it's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out on the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
Already in field goal range, but now trying to convert this 3rd and long from the 20. To the air, it's Sellers. Looking down the middle. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Into the end zone. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work.
Oh, that stings, man. You did a great job calling the play. You got your guy open. Everything was executed perfectly, and the ball hits him in the hands, and he just can't bring it in. Man, those are tough ones. Those are tough to swallow.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job by this defense. Listen, you got to understand, they're going to run the football. They're going to try to milk the clock, Jesse. They got the huge lead.
Haven't been a lot of good plays for this defense in this game so far, so can they build on that one? Can they create some turnovers here in the second half to get back in this game?
Finding an escape route. Turning it on. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And honestly, it's been about complementary football in this game, right? We've seen this offense go up and down the field. They've been lighting up the scoreboard, but the defense has done a great job, too, getting off the field and putting their offense in really good position in this game. The head coach has got to love what he's seen on both sides of the ball today.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he tacks on the extra point. Only took 2 plays to find the end zone on that drive, and gashing them on the touchdown run finished it off.
52, South Carolina, 0.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Leaves it with the back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they've built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
I just love the individual one-on-one effort by the defense there. Offense trying to go option, QB keeps it, but just too many defenders winning their one-on-one battles, defeating blocks, and getting the tackle for loss.
Hubs it downfield. Can't make the play on the interception, and man, they were looking for their first pick of the game. Instead, it'll be fourth down.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on fourth down, right? Obviously trailing, we're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on fourth down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
High and away, headed toward the sideline, just the way he drew it up. They'll get this drive started from their own 26. Power football with the run. Got enough for the first. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10.
Pace, 27, jump.
Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Across the 25, he's got room. There he goes. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
And this dude has been a problem today. Almost 200 yards rushing, rips off another long run. He has been impossible to stop. They've featured him, and Palmer, I would continue to feature him.
Yeah, I would too, David. I think he's the definition of a running back that gets better as the game goes on. The more and more you give him the football, he just seems to get stronger. He seems to get faster. People do not want to tackle this guy for 60 minutes. He is putting on a show.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Scanning the field, it's Sellers. Slips a tackle. Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could.
And this is the hard part about being on defense and choosing whether to be conservative or bring the blitz. They bring the blitz, he sees it, and that's what he does really well. Sees it and immediately makes a decision, gets to some green grass, and gets a positive gain for this offense.
I'll tell you, man, I love quarterbacks that have arm talent, but that can throw it accurately at the same time, and you saw all of it on that end route.
The give to the running back from the shotgun. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down.
Listen, I'm not one for moral victories, and obviously they're trailing by a lot of points late in this game, and they are going to lose, but it is a good sign if you're the head coach of this team that you're seeing your guys out there still competing and still fighting until there's zeros on the clock.
Tackle is made at the 48. It's a pickup of 5 and enough for the first down.
QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
Fires toward the end zone. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Trying to take it back. And they capitalized not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the INT.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. They can stop the clock a couple more times, and they need to get it back fast, down 2 possessions as the clock keeps winding down. I know both of these teams were ranked, guys, but it really seemed as if they weren't on the same level in this game.
I think that was a pretty good statement game for these guys. I mean, you're ranked higher, you're more talented. A lot of people point to this game, possible upset, 2 really good teams. Jesse, they made it clear. There's only one really good team. It was them. They were the favorite, and they just made a point of it.
You're right. Not all ranked teams are created equal. One of these teams is a college football playoff contender. The other simply is not. And that demonstrated itself today. The higher-ranked team is a team with national championship aspirations. They've got so much talent. They look good today.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.